live. Usually I do a brief intro into what I'm doing here, but that kind of didn't work this morning. So hopefully you guys are going well. Let me know if you guys can hear me and see me and everything is going well over on YouTube and also on Facebook. And again, for everybody who's in the Scanner School Extra Credit Club over on Patreon, I have you guys over on Zoom. So this is the way it typically works. This is a Q&A session. So if you have any questions for me, this usually follows our podcast that happens on the first Tuesday of the month, where I answer your questions. And besides doing it on the podcast, I like to take it over here and answer your questions live. So we'll be here for at least a half an hour to go through your questions, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less if we don't have a lot of questions in here. But that's what we do. So if you have any questions, you're watching this live, go ahead and in YouTube over in the corner there will be a question or a comment box. You can put your comments in there and leave me a message, and I'll answer them live. Over on Facebook, just below the video, you can go ahead and put your questions in there as well. Now, again, if you're watching us on either platform, go ahead and share us with somebody as well, because by sharing what we're doing right now, you are allowing more people to ask their questions and allowing me to help more people with their scanner radio questions. So that's what I really like to do. Got our first check-in for the evening. We got Corey from Rapid City, South Dakota. You can hear you, or he can hear me, so that's excellent. Thanks so much, Corey. Again, if anybody has any questions, let me know. Over in the Zoom session as well, I got Brian, have you in there, and also Jim. Good to see you in there as well. And let me look over on Zoom and see what else we got in there too. Jim got you, and the other Jim, both Jims. So excellent. All right. So again, Zoom is in the background. I'm watching the chat box over there, so just flag me if you need anything. And again, I've got my volume muted so I don't get an echo on my end. Joe Messina got you in there as well. How you doing? Joe, I know you sent me an email. I did not have a chance to actually digest it and look at it. So if you want to ask your question that you sent me in an email, you can do that right now, and I'll respond to that as well. I know you sent me an email the other day, but I did not have a chance to go through it. I've been extremely busy filling orders, and Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Cyber Week's been pretty good for me. So been really swamped doing that, which is excellent for me. But we're not here about me. We're here to talk about what you guys have as far as any questions go. So I'm looking over here on Facebook just to make sure that we've got things coming through okay. I can see the video is there. I just don't see any questions coming in there yet. Same with YouTube. Okay, so Joe's asking, he's asking about an external speaker for his BCD96P2 Phase 2 scanner. What external speaker do you recommend? Great question. So let's go ahead and we will jump over to my web browser over here, and we'll go through it. So what I recommend here is, first let me shift the screens around and transition over, is I prefer Scanner Master. And again, I do have an affiliate over with Scanner Master. We'll put that over in the links in 1 second. If you go to scannerschool.com, Scanner Master / Scanner Master. That is my affiliate link over to Scanner Master. So if you use that link first and buy anything at Scanner Master, we'll get credit for the sale. Just let you know that. But I've done a lot of business with Scanner Master. And these guys too here, Jonathan Higgins and Rich Carlson, great guys. I've been on their YouTube channel once before, and I'll actually be on there in a couple weeks if everything goes all right. And I also know Jim, he also said he got the SDS 100 with all the bells and whistles, used my link, so I really appreciate that. Jim, and I'm glad to hear you got your SDS 100. Would have had it a day sooner if you if it wasn't for Thanksgiving. So no, Jim, I don't get notified of any purchases when anybody uses the links. I just kind of get a thing at the end of the quarter that basically says how many people have used the link and actually how many sales have gone through. So we are just looking here through accessories for Joe. So what I do is you go to accessories, and then you can go to audio accessories, and you can go in here to speakers. And you've got quite a bit of speakers in here to actually choose from. It's all going to be a matter of what your preferences are and what you need. And I've used these static 4-inch speakers. These are big speakers. They're 4 inches big. they got good sound to them. I like them, especially for the price at $14.95. They are really well. And the unit in Bearcat 3-inch speaker. This is kind of a tiny little speaker. It gets the job done, but again, it's more for a tight space. If I had a choice, though, out of these 3 speakers up here, I really do like the Bearcat BC15 speaker. Being though that it is, again, it's 15 watts, so it's got some good power behind it. Again, these are passive devices. This doesn't get plugged into a wall or to DC, but it's decent enough. Again, it comes with a 1/8 inch plug, so you can plug it straight into your scanner. But this one here, this is static. Actually, it's on sale, $9.95. Decent price. This is definitely a good steal right now. So this is what I recommend to you, Joe, would be this. And again, if you use my link, scannerschool.com/scannermaster, and then you use that link to go to the website, we will definitely get credit for the sale. Let's see what else we got over here in the chat box. We've got Chris from East Lansing, Michigan. Good to see you on tonight, Chris. Louis, how you doing, Louis? Good to see you in there. Max down in New Zealand. Max, always good to see you and hear you too on our Zelonets. And also, Chris is saying he ordered the 4 power supply for the 436 scanner. Is that, Chris, is that squid? Let's see if we can find that over here as well. We've got this power accessories, which is really cool. So here it is right here, the 4 scanner power supply. And this is cool. This actually, I've used these in the past for CCTV applications. What you would do is you'd plug one of these into the wall, and it gives you basically a little squid at the end that gives you 4 outputs. So if you have 4 scanners mounted, you can actually plug 4 scanners in at the same time and power them up from one source right here. And same with the cameras, with the CCTV, you'd run the Siamese cable over to here, and you just plug them all into one plug. Truthfully, though, I really do prefer to go with power supplies and wire things in there. But this is a nice, simple idea. It's easier. It's easier for people who aren't comfortable with wiring in power supplies to just use something out of a box and get that wired in and hook up multiple scanners. So they sell a lot of these. In fact, they actually talked about this on the scanner guys talked about this on their Wednesday night show, and I think it was actually sold out by the next day. So it's good to see they actually have these things back in price, back in stock, rather. Let's see. Let's go through here, too, as well. Dave, how you doing, Dave? Good to see you on. Ray down in Florida. Joe, can I email me a link of the info I have? Yeah, Joe, I'll get you that in a little bit to attach everything. I'll get that through to you. If not, then just scannerschool.com/scannermaster. Just come up here to accessories, and then you just come into audio and speakers. All right. Dave's saying he's got one. They're great. And then Louis also uses them in the office. So, yeah, there's some proof right there. They're out there in the wild, and people are using them, and that's great. Everybody's feeding back that they have them and they use them. So, excellent. Guys, keep your comments coming in, your questions coming in as well. Joe, I was actually going to reach out to you. Good to see you in there. Been super busy, so I apologize. Haven't emailed you in a while. Not enough hours in a day. Joe, I definitely hear you that. And if you want to sync up to me to discuss that, that's not a problem. We can work around that as well. Been meaning to hand a couple things off to you, but haven't had the chance yet as well. So it's been busy. Let's see. Joseph's saying also have a question. Yeah, Joe, go ahead and ask you that question you have in there. That's not a problem. Corey's asking, can you have the BCD 396T fixed, or does it need to be repaired? And Kevin's asking how I'm doing. Kevin, doing well. So, yeah, you can get the BCD 396 repaired. And let me just do this over here. Realize I'm looking at the screen and not really showing you guys my face, which I guess is good for you guys. But if you come over to, let's see, unitin.com/repairs, I think is what it is. And we'll flop over here in 1 second. No, that didn't work. Let's see. Support. warranty repair. Okay, let's go flop over here again as well. So we're going to transition over here. So yes, top of the screen, I apologize, is cut off. It's just the way that I got things centered over here. But if you go to repair.uniden.com, and again, we will put that in here for you, Corey, and you can just fill out the form here. So there's repair rates, which aren't too bad, to be honest with you. If you look at scanners, I believe, again, CBCD 396. Oof! Wow. So they raised the rate on this one. $89.95. So you got something to think about here, because you've got $89.95 on the cost of the repair on the 396. So what would we be looking at here as far as replacement? And a portable scanner on the replacement, exact replacement on an upgraded 396 would be the 325 P2. And let's run down really quickly the differences between these two scanners to kind of see if you really want to justify spending about $100 on a replacement scanner. So again, let me just transition over here so you got me back again. So the 325 P2 is a phase 2 scanner. So this is what it's going to look like over here. This is my 325 P2, nice little scanner. It's got a ton of memory in it. It's like 9,000 memory channels, or 25,000, right? Memory channels. And it's a little pricey, though. It's $389. It does not do simulcast all that well. But if you're not in an area that needs simulcast, then this really isn't an issue. But what I want to do for you, too, is I want to show you the difference in size between this and what you have now. See if that's going to be a deciding factor for you. So let's see what we got. My bag of tricks. There they are. And we got a little box and container here of some old scanners. So this isn't an exact. This is actually my 346. And you can see the size difference between the two of them is pretty identical. Get my fingers out of the way here for you. But there's not much difference here, too, in depth. What you really have a difference, though, is on the top, right? This one's got a BNC. The new upgrade, the 325 is a BNC. Whereas the 996, you've got that SMA connector on the top. And these were prone to getting stressed out, basically, if it drops or a lot of stress on here. Sometimes people will over tighten that, and it's just a smaller connection. I've seen quite a few of those go bad, but I like the old BNC connector on some of these radios. Everything else is pretty much the same. The other thing is you could do multiple sites in this radio. I think on the 396, you were only able to put one site in on a trunk system. And if you wanted to do multiple sites, you had to keep repeating that trunk system over and over again. Programming them up, if you've got ARC software, the ARC XT, you can take out from one right into the other. Same as with FreeScan, they do copy right out from one into the other. Don't want to push you either direction, but yeah, you can get that repaired. But let's see what you're saying here. If the replacement scanner, you're looking at the 996P2, just like having one in your SUV. Yeah, and it's a good scanner too. It's almost the same. And just outside my reach over here. What the heck? Here we go. 996P2. See, everything within arm's reach. It's basically a clone of the BCT15, the 996, the 996XT is pretty much the same exact thing. Same style that we've been used to for such a long time with these radios. And great radio. The only thing that always really bothered me about these is the speakers on the bottom of it, and they don't give you that little kickstand anymore. So when you go ahead and you get lazy and you just plop it on your desk, you're taking that speaker and firing it right into the desk. So you got to put that mount for the car, the bracket, you got to put it on upside down, which then raises the radio up. So, but yeah, I almost forgot that radio has been sitting there. It's been sitting there for quite a while. But yeah, that would be a really good replacement for you, Corey, in the car. Let's see. Kevin's asking, when is Suffolk County going to be fully P25? We'll know when we know, Kevin. I've heard rumors that it's going to be March. I've heard rumors it should have happened already. So really can't explain exactly when that is going to be. We'll find out. That's part of the hobby, right? Part of the hobby is finding out when things are going to happen. So we'll just have to wait and see. Les up in Canada. Good to see you up there, Les. Jenny. Let's see. Jenny, let's see. She's just saying she's been catching the recordings and have a happy and healthy Thanksgiving, everybody. Jenny's good to see you checking in. And again, go and check in on the Zoom link as well. You'll find that one over in your Patreon feed as well. Let's see. Jim King is saying he loves the SDS 200, best purchase he's ever made. Yeah, it's a really, really good scanner. I got mine sitting just off frame over here, but if I go to touch it and move it, it's going to knock a whole bunch of stuff out of the way. The best thing I got right here is the 100. There you go. See? But great radios. A little complicated to use, but once you get the hang of it and you start going through it, you'll get used to it. It's not too far off of the SDS. I'm sorry, the 436 or 536. If you're at home on those radios, you'll feel really good on those as well. Let's see. Louis saying Putnam County, New York is going P25 soon. He's noticed some news sites up in the area. That's quite a possibility, Louis. Lots of places going P25, and I'm pretty sure. I don't want to spread any rumors, but I think I might have sold a couple pages up that way. So it was either them or an adjacent county to them, but they were looking at prepping for P25. Kevin, good to see you in there. Henry's saying, do you own a TRX-1? Notice some simulcast distortion with mine. Can it be done about this? Yes. Boy, you guys are making me show off tonight. Here it is, the TRX-1. So, yeah, this little guy here does not perform well in simulcast. I haven't had any luck. Well, I can't say any luck. It's weird. My county has a UHF P25 system that is simulcast, and you know what? Let's do some investigation while we're here. Let's do this. Again, I gotta stall out here and find out where I am. So let's swap and transition over to here. Good, you guys are seeing the link over here. Let's look at radio reference. So I've got a TRX-1, and it absolutely stinks on 800 simulcast. So what I'm going to do here is just to take a look. Is my local county's got a P25 system, and they've just expanded out. They have an 800 simulcast, and they're doing 700 as well. But I listen to them on my primary simulcast here. It's a 500 megahertz simulcast system, but the TRX-1 works fine on this. And I want to take a look here and see exactly why. So I'm going to click on, I know I'm going fast. So what I did was I went into the actual simulcast name, or the name of the site, and I'm using the site here. Just pay attention to my words. This is the site, primary simulcast. This is the FCC license. These are the transmitter locations, all right? These are the transmitter locations. These could be loosely called sites, but they are transmitter locations. You do not want to get them confused. And looking at it, I am kind of over in this neck of the woods over here, and I am kind of out of the way. So anything I'm monitoring is coming off from the north and the northeast from me, at least on that license. If we look at the other license and look what the other transmitter locations are, we'll find out that, again, I've got a pretty close site to me down here. So it could possibly be why I'm not getting really any issues with simulcast. However, if I go to my neighboring county, which is the scary thought here, and I click on that county and I look at their new P25 system, and I look at their 700 or 800 megahertz simulcast site, and then look at their transmitter location, they are quite a bit away from where I am. Actually, it's interesting. The 800 megahertz location is up in here, but I know for pretty good certainty that they are also simulcasting the same thing at their 700 site. So let's just So let's just eyeball this here. So I am, again, down in this neck of the woods, and you would think I'd only pick up site 3 or transmitter location 3. 2 is way too far out. I cannot monitor anything going on in this 800 system. It's simulcast with my TRX-1. Something is just not working well with this one on this one. Now, I've taken my TRX-1 all through Suffolk County, and it just stinks on ice. The 325P2 does a little bit better. The 436 does a little bit better than that. But the SDS 100 and my Unication pager just does not shut up on this system. So I just really haven't had any luck with this TRX-1 on here. And it's been quite a question, Jim, about this scanner and how you can get it to work on simulcast. And even trying some of the tricks, like taking the antenna off or putting the attenuation on. I just don't know what it is, but it just seems like the Whistler scanner to me personally. And again, I don't know if it's my scanner or it's something else, but I haven't really tried it on other 800 megahertz simulcast trunk systems, although I do have one over to the east, and I think I got another one that just popped up recently. Let me just double backtrack over here, and you know what? I could do it right from here. There's this MRSS system just came up as well, and I haven't really monitored it with the TRX-1. But if I look at, let's see, Nassau County, where is this one? I mean, see, it covers all down here. But if I look at the transmitter location, there isn't one. So there's no latitude, longitude in this one. There's actually no information about it either. So I don't know where this one is coming out of. So this one might be an interesting test to try and find anything out of, to be honest with you. New York City, and we can also check out, again, this is for my own homework at this point, just to see if the TRX-1 would work any better on a different system. But we've got, in the city, we've got this Do It system as well. So I can hit this from the house as well. And again, plenty of transmitter locations as opposed to sites. All right, let's go back and look at some more questions that are coming in. So let me just transition over here. And let's see. Bermuda. Donald, how you doing down in Bermuda? Wow. That's, I think, my first check-in from down that way. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Let's see. Joseph's asking about the P25 that's already finished or still in process. So, yep, we answered that one before. It's still in process. Louis saying Orange just went P25 early this year. Jim saying he uses the SDS 200 over a web server on the road scanning his county. Very convenient. Are you using ProScan for that? Chris is saying, Rich told me the 4-port power supply does not work on my Radio Shack scanners, only my 536. Yeah, so the reason for that, Chris, is because there's a different port on the back of the Radio Shack scanners. It's a different pin and barrel, whereas the male end is inside the scanner on the unit and stuff. On the Radio Shack, it's opposite. The male is actually on the plug, so it's a different plug. I don't have a plug handy for you here to look at and compare, but it is different. Now, again, if you could get something that would replace that, you could probably wire something that would help as well. Let's see. Where do we leave off here? Les is saying, are demos of the SDS 100, 200 okay to buy? It depends on the condition of the demos, but I would think, I don't know how much you're going to save, Les, on that one. You might just want to go new and get a full warranty on it. Kevin's asking, would NYPD go encrypted in 2023? You know what? There's a lot of debate on this one over on Radio Reference. They talk about this like crazy. In fact, another forum post just came up this week about it. Let's just take a quick look over here at Radio Reference, and I'll just show you what's been going on here for NYPD encryption. In fact, there's a post that's just recent as of 11 minutes ago. So let's take a quick look over here, and again, we will transition. And again, this is one of those dead horses. This just really seems to keep coming up and up and up and up and up. So if we do a search here for NYPD and encryption, I'm actually surprised I have to go onto a second page to find another post about it. So it's been talked quite a bit in here. So maybe they got rid of some of the posts, but yeah. So we've got another post right here, front page, first post right here. Again, talking about it. I actually thought they would close this thread, but it looks like it's still open on here, and quite a bit of conversation, discussion about this as well. So, still an active thing. It looks like all the hardware is in place to do this. I believe they have a zone in their radios already that would allow them just to go ahead and flip the switch once they're ready. Again, they don't need any type of FCC designation on this because they're not changing the actual type of modulation. You're going from conventional to conventional. It's just a matter of turning it on. They could do encryption in analog, but they may go P25. Look, I just honestly don't know. I take the stance of, unless I have a document for my hand, I'm a hobbyist, right? And I learn and I find things out as they happen. And again, that's what we do in the hobby, right? We kind of see and we look around and we adapt to what we have available to listening as well. Let's see. Jim is saying the AOR developed the AR7400, but I've never seen that on it's been released. So I have any news of the status of that one? Jim, I forgot all about that one. Let's take a look at the AOR7400. This was their quad receiver, built basically for aviation. It was their primary target in the primary market, and it looks like there's some YouTube videos on this one. Don't know if anybody got any further than that. Oh, by the way, guys, some news too. Universal Radio has closed up shop, I believe, as of yesterday, which is really disappointing. If you've been a customer of theirs, like I have in the past, they were great people to work with. Let's see if we got it here. Yes, so I'm going to go ahead and flop screens again, and so we can take a look. This is the AOR 7400. I know you guys can't really see it, and again, it's on Universal Radio's website, but it's you got 4 receivers. You can see the display is broken down to 4 receivers in here. Think about SDR, right? Is really what it's got 4 different tuners in it, and it's really built around aviation and mil-air monitoring. So it's really, really cool. I haven't seen anything about this yet or anything about pricing on it, but it'll be cool when it comes out. Let's see what they got here on their website. Let's see what's new. It's going to take too long. Let's see. Well, they got nothing on their main page about this, do they? Let's see. Products. Uh-oh. It's not even in a product list yet, so who knows? Hopefully it does come out, but we will see. We'll find out. Yeah, Jim's is not good. It could just be that it's just not released yet, but we'll see. Hey, this one looks pretty cool. Gotta save some pennies on that one as well. All right, let's see how we're looking as far as questions go. Before we swap over and go to our Patreon only extra credit support chat. Let's see. Jim is saying it's all simulcast here in Chicago suburbs, and the Whistler 1040 sucks with it. Yep. Let's see. Is anybody printing 3D battery compartment covers for the Uniden Bearcat 125 AT? I am not aware of that, but somebody you may want to ask about that would be Jim Winky on Radio Reference. He's done quite a bit of fabrication on stuff himself, and he actually made some adapters, the threaded adapters that go on top of the Uniden scanner, the SDS 100 allows you to transition over to the BNC, and then also I think he's making scanner mounts now as well. So you may want to ask him. I know he's involved with a lot of custom products, and that'd be cool. You might be able to, Carmen, just go to Uniden. They do have a page where you can just order parts and pieces from, and they'll just tell you what the parts and pieces cost you. Tim is asking, any updates on replacing Paul from Uniden? Any updates on a scanner to replace the SDS 100 to 200? Tim, I haven't heard anything public yet. What I have heard was that Uniden does have somebody to replace the giant shoes that Paul left. I haven't seen anything official from them, so I don't have any other information other than that. And again, replacing the SDS 100 to 200, I don't think it's that long in its lifespan yet to have been replaced. There's nothing really out there right now to need to replace it with. And again, I don't know why, but they came out with the SR30C, and I would think that they, at this point of time, they would either sunset the BCT15 or find a replacement for that, to be honest with you. Let's see. Corey is asking, with the Pro 197, how can you get better signal with analog channels? The best way with the 197 with analog to get better signal is increase your antenna, change out your coax to LMR 400. That kind of antennas and coax can go a long way with that one, Corey. Harry is saying, greetings, love your podcast from Melbourne, Australia. How you doing, Harry? Thanks you so much. Have a good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining. Probably lunchtime around your area right about now, so thanks for joining us. Jim saying, yes, with ProScan as far as the remote broadcasting the web server. Love ProScan. I use ProScan to serve a couple of radios as well. And Jim's saying, good show. He's in Delaware. Good to see you down there in Delaware, Jim. Harry's asking, in my opinion, between the SDS 100 or the G4, G5, TRX1 is great for. Okay, Harry. Loaded question here. So I need to just clarify and disclose I am a Unication dealer. I own eastcoastpagers.com. That's my site. But again, I love scanning. So I'm going to give you a honest answer here, okay? I'm not looking to sell you something that you don't need or aren't going to be happy with. When it comes to scanning, the Unication product is a pager first, okay? It's limited when it comes to scanning. So there's three things we have to look at here, or maybe even another one. You can't mix conventional and trunking in a Unication product in a scan list. You can't mix multiple trunk systems in a scan list. You also don't have the ability right now to add a hold time on a talk group. So as soon as that transmission is done, that scanner is going to, or the Unication product is going to look for the next active talk group. So if you have large talk groups, it's really going to affect your scanning satisfaction, so to speak. However, these are nice products. I would take this out faster than I would take out my SDS 100 for several reasons. 2-year warranty on this thing. This is made for commercial environments. It's watertight, and I wouldn't worry about dropping one of these. If you are interested in the Unication pager, reach out to me directly. You can go to eastcoastpagers.com. Pricing right now on it are extremely great till December 23rd. With agreements I have with Unication, I can only tell you that if you bought one through me right now to the end of the week, you will end up with some special gifts in your shipping box. I can't tell you what they are, but you would end up with some extra stuff. So again, eastcoastpagers.com. The TRX1 is great for DMR. The Unication pager, again, DMR is conventional only tier 1, tier 2. The SDS is a paid upgrade for DMR. And DMR is great in the SDS radios and also the 436 as well. They are really good. Jim is saying Whistler and Radio Shack are the same, he believes. Close to it. Uniden did make some products for Radio Shack, but a majority of that came out of the GRE factory, which then was absorbed by, or the rights to GRE stuff was all bought out by Whistler. Let's see what we got here. Christina Pedia is saying, I forgot to set an alarm. Sorry. No worry about being late. You can always catch a replay. Let's see. Kenneth is on there as well. Kenneth, good to see you on there as well. And let's see. Christina's talking about, let's see. Carmen's commenting too. In 1980s, Universal Radio's layaway program allowed me to set a decent shack on a Paper route budget. Thank you. I had a stock on battery compartment. Covers that unit. You didn't. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I think I did the paper route thing too, and I forget what decade it was in, but yeah, went that way as well, and bought my my first scanner, my BC 200 XLT with that as well. And no, that scanner's on the other side of the room, so I can't pull that one out of the box. Tim is saying, thanks for answering my previous questions. Good sites to get the SDS for something less than $649 new. That's going to be your floor price, to be honest with you, Tim. I'm not sure right now what Scanner Master has it for, but I know Zip Scanner. Again, I have no affiliation at all whatsoever with Zip Scanner, but they had a Black Friday deal. I don't know if it's on running right now, but it was $649, and they threw in programming and I think a case and something else there as well. So Zip Scanner did have a bunch of stuff, but I don't have any. I haven't purchased from them, and I can't personally tell you or let you know anything about them beyond that. But Henry's asking how easy it's to program the communications. Henry, it's I'm trying to think of a creative way to say this. It's an experience. You can do it if you're comfortable programming other radios. If you're comfortable programming the SDS series, you can do it. If you buy a pager through me, I'll include an hours of programming to get you set up as well. So at least you got that squared away. The software is free too, so you can go ahead and tweak it, tune it, and build up to that as well. Let's see. Bob's saying don't laugh, but he's 30 miles away from downtown Chicago, and the Bearcat 210 still works great. That's a great radio. It's and then Jim saying he might be there. Okay, cool. They're sharing some information about where they're located. Excellent. Just double checking everything over here on this end here. Looks like we've got some everything's feeding through fine. Didn't miss anybody out here as well. So with this, does anybody have any last minute questions? Because normally about 7 minutes ago I would have closed up shop here and gone over to just my Patreon extra credit guys. And again, if you want to join us over there, you can. I'm going to just drop a link in here as well. So you go to I got to set up copy and paste here. scannerschool.com/Patreon. And that'll take you over where you can join us over on the next one. So it's my extra credit club is $5 a month, which helps keep the podcast and all this stuff going, because it does. It's crazy what goes into all this. So again, scannerschool.com/Patreon. We'll be over there in a few minutes to continue the conversation if we have any questions over here as well on this other channel. So again, I want to thank everybody who does support us over on Patreon, and I do have running right now. I got Jim and Paul and Brian all watching us live over there on Zoom as well, and they catch us about a minute before everybody else sees us because of the delay time on everything as well. Les, you have a good night. Jim is also saying too, caught the first live. Thank you very much. And again, replays are available as soon as this is over, and also set subscriptions. Subscribe to the YouTube and set the bell. So we do this again next month. It'll be the first week of the 2021. I don't even know what date that's going to be. But we'll be live. We'll be here. Christina's saying, I just saw that the PCR 800 had an SD card. Do newer scanners have SD cards? It depends, Kristen, on the scanner. So the Home Patrol scanners, those that have the radio reference database installed will have an SD card. So the Home Patrols, the HP1, HP2, the 436, 536, SDS 100, and SDS 200 all have micro SD cards. The Whistler, GRE, Radio Shack line, anything that has that database that uses Easy Scan to program, they all have a SD card inside as well. And so that's where you can get in there as well. All right. So with that, I'm going to say again, thank you everybody for joining. Have a great holiday season. Enjoy the end of 2020. What a roller coaster ride it's been for 2020. And Thank you all for the year's worth of supports. We have some good podcast episodes to end the year with. If you haven't caught it already, about 2 weeks ago, we did our 2020 Buyer's Guide. So if you're looking for a special gift for yourself or you need some recommendations for some accessories, go check out that podcast episode. I just don't remember the number of it off the top of my head, but you'll find it over at Scanner School and everything else. So again, let's see. Jim's got a quick question. Live on the West Coast, actually Phoenix. Will your pages work in this area for paging service as well as the scanner functions? Unication pages will not do POGSAG or flex paging with voice, but Swissphone has their S-Quad. The S-Quad voice and the S-Quad 360 will allow you to do analog voice with the two-tone paging and also the POGSAG paging. So if you had paging service and you had to put in your cap code and you also wanted to monitor analog, you can do that with the S-Quad. Again, contact me for information on that one. I actually have a customer of mine that bought an S-Quad and is now upgrading to get POGSAG on his S-Quad as well. All right, guys, with that, I want to say thank you very much. I'll be back to check any of the replay questions that are in the comments. And again, have a great year. Thank you so much for joining us. And for everybody on Zoom, stand by and we'll go into what's the store site again? Ooh, got me just in time. It's East Coast Pages, www.eastcoastpages.com. All right. Thank you guys so much. You have a good evening. And everybody on Zoom and Patreon, stand by, and hopefully I don't drop you.